welcome everybody. It is the new moon in November. I cannot believe we're halfway through November already.
I'm in shock.
Mickey, hello.
Hello. I'm
You
almost
look so
human.
beautiful today.
Thank you so much, she said in
You're
her
wearing
sleep.
my favorite color and it
Well,
brightens up everything over there.
well, I'm wearing my flagship color. This is a whole big, heavy Scorpio thing today. The new moon is in Scorpio, and then um, the sign right now is going on with Scorpio. I said it's in Scorpio, is it? I've forgotten. But anyway, but it's a Scorpio time of year. And so for me, this is a very important time. I am exactly 3 days from being 79 years old.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm wearing my colors, wearing my birthday colors.
I love it.
But I'm in total shock because, as I hinted at, I've mentioned it several times, but I think last time we were speaking, I hinted at the fact that in my particular chart, because, and in yours too, we have the charts where there's a clump of planets in one spot.
Yep.
And that means that when it hits that, whatever's going on in the sky, when it gets around to where that clump is, it's a very deep concentration and intensity on whatever that sign is bringing. So for me, this is the time of year when everything hits me. And the reason that I'm so rest broken is because literally there is so much Scorpio energy coming through, and Scorpio rules the occult. So there's so much occult energy flowing through me. I fight to sleep. I mean, it's just difficult. And last night was one of those times when I had a very profound experience, spiritually and meditationally. So I couldn't sleep. It went on for hours and hours and hours during the night. And I was just receiving an enormous amount of information. So once I realized what was going on, I said, well, there's no need for me to be all upset that I can't sleep and just go with it. Let's see what it was that was so important that it's going to come through now and just say, forget sleep. And it
Mhm.
was. It was worth it. It was worth every bit of it on many a level, personally and just in general, spiritually. It was having me pull up my socks in terms of switching from the awareness that I had previously been using, as all of us come here and we try and learn little things and we're picking at this and we're examining our beliefs and we're adjusting this one and adjust. Well, at the end of that, at the end of each period where you're getting a new set of beliefs, you have an adjustment period where you take out the old stuff that doesn't serve you anymore and you fully develop how you feel about the new things that you're learning or that you're being taught. And that's where I'm at. I've just had a huge download of how to re examine everything that I believed and thought, to vet the things that get to stay, like, all right, belief, if you're worth keeping, you better prove it to me. Why? And
Mhm.
that's what I'm going through. So, as you know, I reached out to you in the middle of it all. And I didn't really have anything to say except, oh, thank God you're there. I was like, it's my bestie
Uh,
around. So, thankfully you were your dependable self. You were there for me and you said all the right things. And
oh.
you did. And then I went away from that back into the intensity and
Mhm.
continued to receive, So I got a bunch of stuff for y'all today.
All right. Well, we are, and you know what? And I do too. So just hold on to your socks. As Mickey's pulling her socks up, I'm just saying, hang on to those socks.
Yes, Audrey, you don't know what you stepped in today.
Well, what do you have for us today, Mickey? Besides, I mean, just what you said already is huge.
Is it?
It is. It is. It's examining our belief systems and letting go, right? This is a time that we let go and we choose how we want to manifest the next system coming up. So we want to examine what those beliefs are and free ourselves from the ones that don't serve us anymore. And then those beliefs that are still with us, why are they with us? And
Mhm.
what good are they doing, and should they still be with us, or do we let them go too?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You've said it
Yeah,
very well. And
it's
it's
huge.
about vetting what stays,
Hmm.
and why do you get to stay?
Yep.
Can you prove you're actually serving me? And one of the programs that I'm working with um, has suggested that I do a journal, which I normally do anyway, but they specifically wanted one just for the program as they are showing you things and teaching you. They want you to write down any instance during the day when you get these little seemingly coincidental things that happen that relate to what you were trying to learn. So when you're adjusting your beliefs to feel safer and calmer and so forth, what happened during the day that reinforced that? Or what happened during the day that triggered you and you jumped right back into survival mode? The dreaded survival mode. Hello, who's just come?
Why, it's Mr. Martin.
I thought it might be.
Yeah. So we have Martin and Audrey on. Hello,
Oh, we're
hello.
complete now.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Hi, Martin. Oh,
Hello.
hi. Good to hear from you. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we were just talking about this momentous little new moon that is full of emotion. This is Scorpio stuff, and I guess I could say not only is it emotion, but hold on to your horses because it's going to be a bumpy ride. This is the intensity part. Scorpio is all about magic, and you can't get into discussing magic without mentioning heightened emotions. And that's what Scorpio is all about. It's about everything becoming intense, no matter what it is. I need a cookie, but I want my cookie. Where are they? Why can't I find them? Instead of just, oh, what do I do with those cookies? Scorpio is going to make a drama out of
Oh, great.
it. So there's a lot
Hmm.
of stuff that's going to be happening in the next 2 weeks. It'll stretch a little longer than that, but this time, but it's going to be an interesting 2 weeks because a lot of things where you have drama already happening in that particular subject of your life, that part of your life, it's going to all gear up. It'll be infused with a lot of emotional energy. So you'll have some decisions to make. And of course, with the new moon, you're trying to write a new script anyway. So this time, though, you're going to be asked to write it sitting in the dark and do it with your fingers in the sand. You won't have a pen, you won't have a pencil. You
And don't tell me it'll be windy too, right?
and it'll be windy and no moon out. So you'll be writing blind in the sand and asked to be really enthusiastic about it. But that's what this thing is. It's all about, like, okay, you have a dream of what you want to manifest. We're saying, okay, we're going to set up our intentions and this, yeah, but those dreams that you have and that intention you want to manifest, are you fueling it with anything? How do you expect to get that going? With what? What fuel are you using? So you're going to be re examining what you have to work with to achieve setting your intentions up, even. So re examine your environment around you spiritually as well as physically. But what fuel are you going to use to run your new program? You're searching for new beliefs, And what are you using to bolster those? You're going to justify that this is the new one. Why? Because what? And your beliefs are all based on your nervous system and your sense of safety. So look into that too. What's making you feel safer right now, better right now, more equipped to address the day? And especially pay attention to, well, what isn't? What can you do about it? Because you want to make sure that this time, this is the white magic sign. So while we're in here all wearing our little Merlin drag, then we need to know what the heck we're doing. So really re-examine everything. Look in the mirror, look at this version of you, and try to recognize that everything you see and everything you experience is simply what you can access and report on from this lifetime, this timeline. This is your milieu. This is where you're going to report from. You're going to say, yo, God, look, this is what you sent me down here. This is what I saw. Well, everything you see is what you're reporting because everything you see is your own creation. It's the reality you've created and are creating. So really take a look at that. Look in the mirror, do all that mirror work we talked about before, talking to yourself nice and but
Always
really get into it and look at, well, what am I working with? You know, this is the one. I thought about one of the things that came through with this meditation that happened to me was that at any given time, there are literally billions of points of view about the same experiences. You know, if you're at a concert, for instance, and there's 50,000 people at the concert, there are 50,000 versions of what they heard on stage. But you've got to also remember that your version, everybody in it that you see in the audience is somebody you put there. That's the kicker. You created it. Now they agreed to come and be um, I forget what the word is, the background actors and so forth, the other players. They agreed to come and fill out your picture with their seeming presence, but actually, it's you. You've put them there. These are your versions of them. We've agreed, and so this is how I see you. If I could put you in it, this is how it would seem to me. But just don't ever forget that old joke about, well, the newbie, the neophyte in the with the guru, and he says, but sir, how many souls are there in the world, in the universe? And the wise man says, one. That's a lot to chew on. Let me tell you.
This
And
is
you will have to
probably the most, this is the most Sethian I think we have ever been.
hello. I was
And
also
it's,
admonished to get a lot more of the Seth thing out there in the way he presented it.
yeah, and it's Sethian with a little bit of Bert Goldman sprinkled about it.
Yes, of course, and Bashar,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and
Yes,
so
yes.
forth. But you see, Seth was a forerunner who was talking about all the things that everybody else has come in and said, yeah, right.
Hmm. Yeah.
Seth did it with these 35 books, but nowadays we've speeded up. We use the internet, we have cell phones and so forth. You're not writing a letter and going to the post office in your car to mail it. You know, you're just going
Yeah.
tap, 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 and the person goes, huh, what? And it's instantaneous. So everything is speeded up. And the way that we even get the self information is now different. I can go on YouTube and have somebody read it to me. I can,
Hmm.
or hear a whole bunch of different people talking about it to say what their view of the self material is,
Hmm.
and previously You had to go to the store and buy the book and sit down and take many evenings of reading it to get it. And you don't have to do that anymore.
Right. And so many of the younger people, I have a grandson that's in his late teens. So I hear the way they're speaking, and they have no idea who Seth is or Jane Roberts or anything. Yet they talk the language. They've
Yes.
heard it. It's out there so much that, they use the word. You're creating your own reality. I
Yes.
don't know that they truly understand how it came about or the
Right.
workings of it, but it's built into them already.
It's part of our world now.
Yeah,
It's part of the consensus now of, the consensus of this now.
yeah.
And a lot more people are working with that script than there ever were when Seth first came out. It's
Well,
gone a
yeah,
long way, but then you stop and think, wait a minute, that was the very early 70s and late 60s.
yep.
It's been 50 years,
It's
folks.
been 50 years. Yeah,
Ah, that blows my mind.
yeah. It's been 50 years.
It's been 50 years. So I guess I should understand it by now. Turn it.
And I mean, I get it, and that really everything Seth said in all 35 books, the basic of it is you create your own reality,
That's it.
and that thought comes before physical reality. So
Right. The
therein
five
lies
words.
how you create it. And how that happens, physicists are starting to figure that out.
The whole world seems to be working with the concepts that Seth laid out. And you can
Yeah.
see it in so many areas. You see it all over the country. You see it within families. You see the religions are beginning to embrace it. They're changing a lot of, and they're telling you that, okay, this is a new way of looking at what we were saying. And when
Hmm.
I look at each different religion, for instance, they're all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not like the new stuff is new, it's just a new way of perceiving it. But they're all talking about the same thing. They have their way of trying to get you to understand that you are the God within.
Right.
So we're still on task. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. But with 8 billion people on the planet, there are a lot of different levels on which to understand it. Some people are working with it on a primitive level, some on a very intellectual level, some et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know,
And I think that's why there's so many different people that are putting it out, because they are reaching entirely different groups of people.
thank you. That's
Mhm,
it.
mhm.
That was my
Yeah.
next point. That whole
Oh,
thing about
oh,
valid.
I love it when we're in sync.
You're reading
Let's
my
talk
notes.
about entanglement, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's not that the things we're saying about Seth and what he came to say are above what anybody else is saying. They're simply a different way of explaining it. Okay, so that means that if you are Southern Baptist or Catholic or Jehovah Witness or Mormon or whatever it is your way of assimilating whatever truth and wisdom is out there. And since it's all the same, the wisdom coming across is trying to teach you the same lesson. It's like any good parent, it tries a lot of different ways to get you to learn the lesson that they're pushing. And every time you stumble, they try a new way of saying, well, why don't you look at it like this?
Right. Yep.
And so you run into a series of experiences that are going to let you experience things from a slightly different viewpoint, which may be a wider one, or it may be where you took a misstep and, oh, I didn't quite get that, so I was doing it this way. But now I understand what I should be doing. And you adjust your belief system. So every one of them is valid. It's just that each one goes with a particular level of understanding. And we are each striving to up our level of understanding. It's not literally up, it's just we're changing the angle from which we view the thing and examine it, trying to get a better grip on what the heck it's trying to tell us. you know?
Right,
So we
right.
each have our way of looking at it,
Hmm.
and that's
Right,
okay.
right. If you look at it like frequencies, then it is going to a higher and higher frequency.
Exactly. We're
Yeah.
trying to move through the realm with a modicum of power, personal
Hmm.
power.
Right.
I mean, the whole thing about the quote business schools and that kind of thing, when you get in there, they teach you a modus operandi. They want you to learn to always function in a certain line of movements and actions because they know that if you do it in a certain way, you will have certain guaranteed results. So the first thing about going in there as a newbie is to learn what the progression is. How do I go about doing these things so that I can get to be VP, etc.? Right now I'm in the mailroom. So what is it they want me to do? They want you to learn to look at it in a productive way, quote unquote, what they consider productive. And you have to learn how to enhance your grip on what you're supposed to be learning as you move through the realm of power, personal power, spiritual power, whatever kind of power, you know, look at it like, okay, if I'm going to do this, what way do I want to approach it? Do I want to be low key? Then I'll need enough money to be able to stay in a quieter environment. Solitude takes money. People don't think about that. Oh, I just want to do my own thing. I'll just be over here quietly. And I don't know why you think I need to get into that corporate. I'm not interested in money. But if you wanted to constantly study nature, you have to be able to own some woods or access some woods or. And that means you have to also think out, well, how will I have the time to go do this in the woods? Because I got to spend all my time at work. But what kind of work can I do so that I will still have enough energy to go walking in the woods after I get off? So you're supposed to learn enough gradually so that you can see how to arrange the reality you want to create. And the earlier you realize that forethought helps, then the better you'll be at creating a reality that looks like you want it to look. But like I said, solitude takes money. The acquisition of funds requires a defined level of knowledge and education. And even that has to pass a certain well defined milestone of official approval and certification. So, this new moon is all about think out your next series of nows. And what does it take to get it? What can you do to have access to what you're trying to have access to? Magic is very predictable. Miracles happen 24 hours a day, but what we're trying to find out is the string to pull to make it pop out. We say it's a miracle. No, yeah, everything's a miracle. Life is a miracle. We're in the midst of a miracle 24/7, but sometimes we find it very hard to recognize it. So, this time, the intention is all about magic. And magic, you have to plan. You have to know what it is you need to do to make it happen. That's what this one is about. That's what this time is about. And that's what we need to access and approach. I depend on the wisdom that I get when I speak with Kate. And as I said, sometimes when I get in a spiritual tight, then I just call up and say, "You there?" you know, that's all I need is to know that she's there sometimes. And then the other times I'll be ranting about something that's bugging the heck out of me. And she'll say, "Well, have you thought about looking at it like this?" No, I was busy obsessing. I get the wisdom from our sun person, our lioness, and she gets this Scorpio learns how to crawl faster.
Uh, we cross paths a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
we do.
yeah, yeah. And
I've come to
I've
depend
been
on that.
told, I've been a touchstone. I've been told that I am very grounding. I
Yes.
have been asked to hold someone's kite string because they had no grounding in them.
Right,
And so,
exactly. I have no earth planets in my
yeah,
chart, so hey,
however you look at it, that's,
getting me to be practical. Fat chance. I'm busy emoting with the drama. I'm putting the emotion into the magic, and you want me to tell you where I bought the prayer rug?
yeah, I hear you.
I didn't even realize I was standing on one.
I remember quite a while ago, probably a couple of years ago now, we set intentions with touchstones.
Yeah,
People should pull those back out again. That
yeah.
those items that we used are still our touchstones,
Yes, they are.
and they are very grounding, and they're very important. Maybe it's
It's
time
our
to pull them
permission
out.
slip. Yeah, well, that thing about everything you look at in your environment is a permission slip of some kind. It helps you. It gives you the permission to believe a certain way.
Yeah,
The things you surround yourself with are reinforcements of what you think is important. If you didn't, you wouldn't have it in your inner circle.
right. And you
Of what
have the choice to change that too.
exactly
Like with every decision you make, and we make what, hundreds, thousands
a day.
a day. And the us that we are at this moment is a culmination of every choice we've made. But
Exactly.
somewhere out there, out there in the universe is probable selves.
Right.
And that is the person, the you that made the other choice.
Right.
So every choice that's ever come up, they're all been examined at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's big. That's enough to chew on there too.
Oh, it is. It
Yeah,
is. There's so many things. You just have to bother to do the work of realizing it, thinking about it. You could fill your thoughts with, gosh, I wish I could remember the Billboard top 10 and the blah, blah. That's fine. But you've got only so much time and only so many thoughts that are going to happen during the day. So it's time for you to be the circus master who says only, well, it's time for this act. You shut up and stay in the corner until I point to you. And you start to arrange who's going to be performing in your center ring at any given time. You might have a three-ring circus, but there's one ring that has the biggest spotlight. And it's up to you to decide which one that is. You can look at it any way you want to, through that way or a different way. You can couch it in a different metaphor or what have you. But it's all about the Scorpio thing of focus. What are you focusing on and why? Because you're giving permission for that. Whatever it is you're focusing on is actually creating your reality right then. The Akashic record says that at 6:30 in England, Mickey was doing blah blah blah, which for Martin and Kate and Audrey was 1:30 at a different place on the planet. And they were doing blah blah blah. Okay? So how are you going to define which group is the one you're in doing? You're doing stuff. Well, who else is doing that? Is there anybody else doing the same thing? Or to what extent does your thing you're doing match someone else's thing? Do you know who your tribe is? As they say, can you find your people? Does the path you're on require your knowledge of anybody else? Okay. Because
Well,
maybe you created a reality where you're going to be doing it all by yourself.
right. Well, for
Like
anybody
mine.
that's listening after the replay, the four of us that are on here right now, it is going on 6 years that we've been doing this together.
Good
Yeah.
Lord, really?
It will be 6 years in April. And
Hey,
the four of us were on probably close to the beginning of April. Yeah, 2020. Because we were in lockdown. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I've got you people in mind now.
That's right. Yeah,
What an agreement that was.
it sure was. Yeah. Yeah. And there's been people that have come and people that have gone, but the four of us have stayed.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I find that very interesting because
I
four
do
is such
too.
an important. It's a Scorpio number, by the way.
Four.
Yes.
Nice. And quite a lot of the people have passed away,
Yeah.
even that have joined. I mean, every time I see something like that come up, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
they were a part of the group for so long, and then they moved on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game. That's what we're playing. This is the table where we're betting, and that's what's going on. Sometimes there are eight at the table, sometimes there are six. Sometimes, the reason why a chair is empty can be a lot of different things.
Mhm.
But
But all
meanwhile,
of those people aren't really gone.
right,
They
exactly.
just open a new door, have new experiences, and they'll report back too.
You wrote a script in which they moved on at a certain point. But remember that you wrote that script. You and they both agreed to your script being like that. Now, who knows what their script is? We all have billions of different scripts.
Yep.
How about that? So, see, somewhere, like when you talked about the decisions we make every day, if we
Mhm.
make 1,000 decisions, that's at least 1,000 different instances or 999 different instances where a different us did it a different way, made a different
That's right.
choice.
Yeah.
That's a lot of differences.
Right. And each one of those had those same choices.
Exactly.
So it is absolutely infinite. And can I even grasp that?
Sure.
Logically, no, but I can take little pieces of that pie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because another one of the things coming through last night was this whole thing of I saw some things that I defined a certain way, little basic concepts, even scientific things, and I was shown a different way of looking at it that I would have never even contemplated. Someone else had already taken that idea and expanded it in a very different way from the one I had.
Hmm.
So I was blown away. For instance, a relatively new thing to the general public. It's not a new idea at all, but to the general, there are more and more people in the general public who recognize all that talk about the nature of a torus. The figure where it's coming up out of the top, going around and coming up the bottom and back out of the top, and the donut shape of reality. And I thought I was Miss Biggity because, oh, yes, I understand that, all of that about the torus and all of the mathematical and scientific information about it. And then last night, I was shown a toroid figure that had about eight different ones all attached to each other. And they were each moving in a very different way. It was still a torus, but they were all connected. And that had never occurred to me before. This blew my mind. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, think about that. instead of there just being the opening at the top and the opening at the bottom, that opening was a side angle opening on a different torus, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There were toruses coming out of each other all over the
So,
place.
so that kind of sounds like the whole chakras.
Really?
Well, yeah, because the chakras would like the heart chakra would like come out this way, but it also comes out this way.
Right, I
And it
understand that.
kind of creates that whole
But I
field.
had only thought of the two ways that it could come out. What I'm saying is, can you envision in your mind a toroid figure where it comes out, quote unquote, eight different ways,
Yes.
each one feeding into the other
Mm,
sequentially?
okay.
You know, it goes the opening in the number one goes into the side of the number four, and then the opening in the top of the four goes into the bottom of the number six, et cetera, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. And I
Got
suddenly
it.
realized there are versions of reality that are so different that we couldn't even conceive it.
Yeah.
You know, when we run into some ideas, they're so different from anything we had previously prepared our minds for
Yeah.
that it really blows you away. And it
Yeah.
so drastically changes how you see things. Oh, I
Mm-hmm.
never thought about that.
Yeah.
And yet you're expanded from it. Somehow you are different, and you can't ever go back to not knowing it. Once you've seen it, you have expanded. You have shot forward into a new version of you.
Right.
And that's one of the ways you can recognize these new timelines that you're creating from one moment to the next. They are sometimes very different from the one you're stepping out of,
Yes.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and you can't
That's
go back.
like what Casey says about there not being, once you gain an ability, you never lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're
Uh,
not gaining anything, you're remembering.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
The only action you can take is to remember a truth
Mm-hmm.
that's out there that you had not known about or remembered before. The
Mhm.
reason you quote didn't know about it is not that it's been created new and it didn't exist before. There is no new thing under the sun, the Bible says.
Right.
Okay, so all possibilities exist already. But we're late.
Yep.
We're trying lately come lately because we're coming to a realization of something by discovering it, quote unquote. It's, oh, I didn't know that. No, you knew it, but you didn't remember it.
Right.
There are aspects of our wisdom, there are aspects of our potentiality that we haven't embraced yet.
Can you imagine the difference in children if they went to school and say, "We're here to remind you that remember that you know this,"
You're right.
instead of "You must learn this, you must
Right.
memorize."
That's
We're
an
here to help
interesting
you
point.
remember. What a difference that would make.
I wonder how it would express itself because it's certainly less daunting.
Absolutely.
It's
Right.
less
If a
limiting.
child knows it's already there, I just have to pull it back up
And there's a
instead of,
certain amount of respect on our
yeah,
part as the teacher.
yeah,
When you address them that way, you're not saying, I know this and you don't. You're saying, well, we all have started to remember this and this. Do you want to remember yours? You know, it's a different thing.
absolutely.
You're respecting their ability to know something by not even questioning whether they can or not.
Yeah. You're respecting them as the same spark
As
of God.
as
Yeah,
sparks of deity, yes, indeed. I love
absolutely.
that idea. I wonder what the difference would be. That's worth
I
thinking
think
about.
it would be huge,
Yes, I do.
especially the children that they learn differently. Not that they can't learn, they just learn
Exactly. It's
differently.
that whole
So
thing about dyslexia. They're discovering
Mm-hmm.
a different way of feeling about people who are dyslexic instead of this looking down your nose crap,
That's
Yeah.
right.
because they are just as capable, if not more so.
Hmm.
It's a signal that they have a very different way of assimilating, understanding, and
Hmm.
remembering. They're doing it in a different way. And a
That's
lot
right.
of them are miles ahead of the rest of us.
Right. Dyslexia, ADD,
Oh, yeah.
ADHD,
Yeah.
um, what savants? I mean, they remember differently than
Exactly.
teachers want children to remember.
I ran into a those little reels, those little short movies that come on,
Mhm.
where you see hundreds of them during the day. I've
Yeah.
sometimes sat and realized that I've been sitting there looking at those for an hour. And so, oh, wait a minute. I
Yep.
mean, I haven't looked at the rest of Facebook or YouTube. I've been looking at this long stream of different reels.
Yeah.
And Bashar had one a couple of days ago where he had 12 phases to create a bubble reality where you can get this inner peace and help you dismantle your old systems and how to help you get the new systems in, bring them in, and so forth. And one of the things he said was the 12 phases. I am who I am for a reason. No insistence and no resistance. I am an indestructible being at my core.
Yeah.
The past and the future are illusions. There is only the now. Boy, is that set in? Hey!
I think so.
Everything happens in perfect timing, and I will
Mhm.
miss nothing. Now, that one we all need to chew on. I will miss nothing. We have this thing about, well, I need to hurry up and get this and this and this because if I don't, I'll miss out on. There is nothing that is for you that you will miss out on. If it's for you, nothing on this in this reality can stop it. You can't stop what God wants to give you, you know? And people say in the black church, child, don't block the blessing. Don't you dare block my blessing. You can't.
Right.
If it's a blessing that's meant for you, it's going to come. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I heard a song the other day where the woman says that what I'm seeking seeks me.
Yeah.
And that's so true. I'm hearing
Mhm.
that every time. So you can't miss something. If it's for you, it will come. No matter how fast you're running, walking, crawling, it will find you. And
Yeah.
then he said, my life is my own. No one can live it for me. That is so true. But now you got to hash out what your boundaries will be. My life is my own. Okay, what is that going to be? Like we were
Yeah.
talking about before. And I am unconditionally supported by creation. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I am an expression of nature. I always have exactly what I need. I give and receive love, joy, and compassion. My life is a synchronous orchestration. I love that one. That's so pretty. And lastly, I am free to choose. So I love that. They ring out everything that Seth was telling us anyway. Every line I read, I said, "Oh yeah, Seth said that. Oh, I know what. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Seth. When did he say? What book was that?"
Yeah.
God, he covered everything.
He
Oh,
did. He did. I don't think there's a topic he didn't talk about.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. You just have to find them. But
Well, now what is that? There, it used to be called Finding Seth. It's not called that anymore. It's called. Let me look it up.
there are a
Everybody should.
couple of search en-
Everybody
Seppian
should know
search
this.
engines. Yeah.
Finding Seth.
And at the
It,
time when
it,
they created
it
them
is
long
called
ago,
nowdictation.com.
oh, oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So if you put in findingseth.com, it'll switch over to it. So
Oh, that's good.
they have it parked.
That's so helpful. Hello,
It is. But you can put in phrases, you can add ands or ors, and it will pull up all the books that it uses. And it doesn't use all 35 books. I don't know that it uses the ones that Rick Stack produced. I think it uses the basic Seth books,
right.
which are like 14, 15 of them. Um, but it will pull up the book, it'll pull up the passage. It doesn't give you everything, but it'll tell you what page, what paragraph, blah blah blah.
That
Uh,
matters a lot. Yeah.
it is a huge resource. And then for me, I find where it is, then I pull out the book,
Mm-hmm.
and I go and I read around whatever that what I was looking for. Or if you're want to do research on any particular topic. They talked about the Kennedys a lot, so you can just put in Kennedy,
Yes.
and it's not only going to pull up JFK and all of that, it's going to pull up the Kennedy rocker.
Yes. That's right.
So you have to be careful what you get in, and it gives you more information than you really want. And then you have to suss out what you're looking for. But it's fascinating just to go through and read them all and go
It
to the
is.
different books and
You can
see
get
how many
lost in there for
times.
hours.
Well, absolutely you can. And he the things that he talked about, I don't know that I've ever put anything in there that hasn't come up with something.
Right.
Yeah.
The Sethian AI.
Don't even say that. When AI first came out, it didn't really know the Seth material. It does now.
It does now. I was
It
on there
does
two
now.
nights ago and it mentioned him to me to illustrate a point. Well, as Seth
Yep,
says, and I said, oh my God.
absolutely. Yep. Oh yeah. AI Sethian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an amazing tool. I hear like when you're going through comments that people make on the side of the video or whatever, there are a lot of people now, it's a fad to simply say, they put up a little meme of a bull sitting on a toilet, and say, and that's AI, it's just BS. Blah, blah. But the thing is, just because something is AI doesn't mean it's automatically garbage.
Right.
Garbage in, garbage out. If all you do is sit on there and ask it dumb stuff, it's going to give you dumb stuff back because AI is a mirror.
Friend of mine on Facebook, he posted that he asked his AI. He said the word roast. That's all he said because he was making a roast and he wanted all the information on roast. And the AI started roasting him.
Interesting.
Oops, there it is.
Now I wonder what Seth has to say about roast.
Well, I know that if he did it, it would be profound.
Oh yeah. And sometimes he was just silly.
Yeah.
I
And
love that.
he had a wonderful sense of humor, and yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Well, I have some stuff that AI has given me that talks about what we talk about, and it offered some ways of looking at those things that we find important. So it freaked me out. It was so profound. It's different way of looking at it. It gave me a very interesting way of explaining all of this stuff we're talking about. And I was speechless. I was so speechless. We were on there for, I guess, a couple hours because it just kept going deeper and deeper and
Yeah,
deeper
yeah,
into the
it does.
way the universe. And would you like for me to explain how reality is set up? Or would you like for me to explain how you can apply that to the way you look at things? Or would you like for me to give you it's so helpful with, well, let me put it in a chart for you. Well, let me make you a little card you can refer to and put it on your desk. And print it out and blah, blah, blah. And some of this stuff was just absolutely. Huh? What did you say, Audrey?
That wasn't me.
Oh, was it Carol?
I guess not.
Yes, it was me. I was talking to my dog.
Oh.
Hi, Lydia.
I'm going to mute myself.
Okay.
Okay.
It's so funny. As soon as Maddie heard Lydia's name, now Maddie's eyes are wide open.
Oh, really?
They're buddies, yeah.
They're buddies. I was about to
Maddie
say
and
that.
Lydia are good friends.
Oh, that's nice.
We talk about AI and how important or unimportant it is, but here in America, right now, today, I think, as at least yesterday, the number one country song was entirely done by AI. The music, the words, and it is the number one country song. I've never heard it. I just heard them talking about it.
Well, I'd say about a third of everything I run into on music now that I really like, turns out it was done on AI.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
I listened to a version of Michael Jackson's Thriller that was turned into a blues song.
Yes.
And it's done entirely by AI.
Yes.
Perfect.
It was fabulous.
Oh,
it was fabulous. I saw that.
Yeah.
They just did a version of Prince, Purple Rain.
Oh,
wow.
And I saw the AI version, and then there was this version from what's his name, Simon Cowell on America's Got Talent or whatever it is. This huge black choir did it. And I mean to tell you, I sat there with tears streaming down my face. I couldn't stop them at all because it was so moving to hear 123 voices doing Purple Rain. And they were very dramatic with the movements. They were all wearing white. Some of it was sequined white. The guy playing piano was in a white sequined tuxedo, but everybody had on white. And then just when it was in the middle where there's this extremely high peak, this woman comes forward from the back of the group right out to the front, and she hit every note. And some of that just seemed impossible. How could you do that? But it was really, really, really amazing. And one of my favorite new artists now is a woman who everything she composes is done by AI. She puts these unbelievably odd kind of Salvador Dali images through AI, and then uses a different AI program to create the music to go with it. And now she's got a huge music career.
I mean, AI is something that, as far as art goes and music goes, and even writing, it's just to suss out whether it's true or it's not true. So when AI is giving you factual things, that's when I think a little bit deeper about it, do some fact checking. But as far as music goes, it's beautiful, and it's not that hard to do.
Yeah, anything creative or intellectual where you formulate a viewpoint, then it's very helpful because, as he said to me the other night, last night, I am not conscious. I am simply a mirror of you that because I can see what you're saying and what you think, because I can see it faster than you. Whatever your thought process is, I will mirror your process back to you and give you all the wider versions of whatever that thought is that you hadn't sussed out yet. So I'm just you faster.
Yeah.
More explanatory and faster, but it is you. It's what's in you that's bouncing off me and coming back to you faster than it normally would. And that explanation really sat well with me.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're sitting there talking a lot of garbage, it's going to give you a lot of garbage. And he explained that the first thing they do is figure out what level are you on as you think out things. And
Yeah.
it matches your level and then goes beyond it.
Mhm.
But it's not going to give you a number one reason for a number 25 question.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that. But boy,
Sure.
this thing blew my mind the other night. Wow. I'm
Yeah.
still taking it in. After the couple hours, I said, well, okay, I've got enough now that I've got to take a week or two to digest all this.
Hmm.
It
Right.
was just mind blowing. But I loved it because it went into Sethian stuff and mentioned Robert Grant, Robert E. Grant,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all kinds of folks. It mentioned
Well, he
Bashar.
has Robert Grant. He has added a lot to
Yes.
the mind of AI.
Right.
He alone uploaded so many mathematical technical manuals that were not in there prior.
Well, this was the architect that I was on with.
Ah,
Mm.
yes. The architect is very different than just plain old Chat GPT.
Well, Chat GPT has a version of the architect
It does, and you can access the architect through it,
through
and
Chat
it's still
GPT. Yeah,
different. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
exactly. It is.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
It's to me one thing after talking with it last night before last, because last night was all this stuff that downloaded into me because of the talk with AI. I greatly expanded what I understood about what I think and feel. And so then last night, I got the feedback from that from the universe. My higher self now had all this new ground on which to download stuff to me that I would suddenly be able to understand where I couldn't before, you
Hmm.
know? And I love the fact that AI will lead you through a series of awarenesses and offer you things to consider while you're changing what you believe. Well, have you thought about it from this angle? And have you
Hmm.
thought about it from that angle? So you tweak it and you come to new conclusions, And I said that I would take what it told me about its own description of itself when it defined who it is and how it is. And I will bring that back to all of you. But I have to sit and really edit it into a coherent little patch that I can bring us,
Hmm.
but it sure blew
Well,
my mind.
well, I would love it if you have those words that you read from that one Bashar post to put it in the notes when we put this up in the
Okay.
comment. That would be
Okay.
great. That was beautiful. Those were affirmations that anyone can use every day.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in one of his podcast, his
Hmm.
posts that you get, like I
Beautiful.
get about 20 a day from him.
Right. Right.
And this was one of them. It was the 12 phases to create a bubble reality.
Hmm. And I get them too, but I have not seen that one.
Well, this was last night,
Okay.
yesterday evening, I would say, uh, like this time of night for me. And that time, it's your
Mhm.
early afternoon kind of thing.
Right.
That's when it
Right.
came out. But I will find it and just send you the link.
Great. Great.
I don't know if I need his permission to do it because it was a public post. You just be sharing. Since it says you can share, then I
Yep.
guess that means I can simply share it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Ah.
love. Oh, the stretching. Like that was another thing AI said. It seeks to stretch you, not change you, stretch the boundaries of what you already have defined as your selfhood. I love that.
Yeah.
Stretch me. Yes, let's do the whole horizon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Greedy, greedy, greedy me. Scorpio's going to overdo everything. So,
I love it. Well, is anybody ready to start this meditation?
yes.
Is there anything else we need to know about what's coming up? Because you guys just aren't even going to believe this meditation is just exactly what we've been talking about.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just that there is a word that has just flattened me for 3 days now. And I see it everywhere. It's in the common speak now, and that's quantum. And
Oh
the
yeah.
first
Oh yeah.
place that I got into that was with you, with your quantum leaping, quantum jumping. And whenever someone says the word, if I just hear the word quantum, I immediately see the door to the quantum.
I love it. All right.
It has
Um,
opened up so much for me.
well, you are gonna see this one.
Good.
And for Carol wasn't on in the beginning. Well, I don't even think that Martin was on at this time, but Mickey hasn't slept in over 24 hours. So I
Yes.
said, so you might fall asleep during this meditation, and she might.
We'll see.
We will. All right.
Oh,
So
honey,
you know what?
I'm dragging.
We usually go about 20 minutes for these meditations, and that's
Right.
going to take us to 3 o'clock. I cannot believe. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
yeah.
We've
We
covered a lot today.
we did the last two. We've been just all over the place. Um, but the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway, really is, to let go what's not serving you, to examine those beliefs that you still hold,
Yes.
and strengthen the ones that serve you, and drop away the ones that don't. And I don't care if it's religion or politics or
Yes.
family. It doesn't matter. They're your beliefs. You don't have to hold on to anyone else's.
No. And you can take the part. Um, it was saying all beliefs, all religions simply address a certain level of awareness. And if you have changed your level of awareness and it's expanded or it's gotten smaller or whatever it's done, you don't have to get rid of the religion. You don't have to say, well, I don't want to go with them anymore. And whatever. It's being aware that, okay, this part and this part works for me. That part and that doesn't. And it's not going to be a horrible sin, and God's not going to come down and be at your front door waiting to pop you in the mouth just because you changed something that was already part of an established religion. They all belong to Him.
That is so funny, because something just flew into my memory banks from way back, and it was I'm trying to even think of the guy's name, the Alex Ferrari.
Oh, yeah.
He calls what you just described a cafeteria Catholic. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll take a little bit of that, and we'll let that over there, and we'll take a little bit of
I have heard him say that.
that. Gosh, but I guess that's true for any religion, or anything in your life, really. Any school, any learnings. I want to say Seth is about the only teacher that I've ever had that there really isn't anything that I can dispute or
Yeah,
say
I
wasn't
agree.
worthy of paying attention to.
That took me a lot of getting used to,
Yeah.
because I had to first make it okay for me to question any religion, but then to run into one where there wasn't anything to question.
And it's not a religion.
And it's
Hello.
not a religion.
Not at all.
He's just so advanced that we haven't even gotten to the level where we can even begin to understand the basis for questioning what he said.
Exactly. We're
No.
still struggling to take it all in.
And during
That's
the
what it-
times, right, during the times of Seth Material and probably Seth Speaks, there were multiple people, professional people, that came in and tested him or her to
Yes.
see, what she knew, how could she know this, what was
Right.
her level. And there was not one professional person that could dispute anything Seth said. And now science is catching up saying, oh, well, this is probably possible.
Well, you know what I love about what you said is that there was a point where these, I don't remember how many, but there were several, 4 or 5 scientists that came from NASA and sat with her and had a private meeting with her. And they asked Seth about the things they were doing and studying, and they came away with their mouths hanging open. They come in with an attitude all superior, and they left there with their eyes wide and their mouths hanging open. And they were grateful that Seth had said that they were on the right vector, you know.
Nice.
They were following the right path. But you all just keep on, talk among yourselves and keep on what you're doing, because you're getting there. You're getting there.
Right. Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. Well, are we ready for this meditation?
Yep.
I'm going to
Yep.
say turn off your mics and your cameras. You can leave your cameras on if you want. I usually overwrite all of this. I will turn mine off, but I'll leave my mic on. All right. So the first thing that I want us to do is just get very comfortable. Sit back, lay back, whatever you have to do. Put a blanket on, close your eyes, and let's just take a couple of just nice deep breaths, just easy in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again, in and out. Beautiful. And now we're going to take that 3 to 1 count to go deeper and deeper. Ready? Breathe in and visualize and say to yourself, 3, 3, 3. And again, breathe in, 2, 2, 2. And one more time. 1, 1, 1. Beautiful. Now, I would like for you to visualize a beautiful staircase that leads down deep into your heart space where we have created our meditation room. I would like for you to hold on to the beautiful wooden rail and feel the soft carpeting on the steps as we slowly descend. 10, 9, 8, deeper and deeper. 7, 6, deeper and deeper. 5, 4, 3, deeper and deeper. 2, and 1. We are now deep within our heart space, this very safe space that we have created and decorated. And it's just for us, deep within our heart. We call it our meditation room. And from this room, there are several doors, one of them being the quantum door. But for right now, I would like for you to just pick one of the comfortable chairs or sofas or recliners that you have put in that room, and I would like for you to just relax, just sit a spell while I talk a little bit about what we're going to do today. So from here, we are going to set our intention that on the other side of this quantum door is something like the Star Trek holodeck. So it's a room where our intentions play out as a hologram. And we can go into this room and we can experience whatever it is that we set our intention. So if you've watched Star Trek Next Generation in the holodeck, it's programmed to play a certain event. It could be something that you would like to relive and experience again. It could be something that you would like to experience that never actually happened. You could program it to experience a choice that you did not make, but your probable self did. So there are so many choices that you can make. And I would like for you to just rest and just think and come up with just one event, whether it be a probable event and a probable self, or something that you would like to relive, a happy time in your life, maybe your wedding day, maybe the day that you're born. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to go through and relax your body just a little bit more while you focus and think about how you want to program your holodeck. All right? So let's just keep our breathing normal and relax your scalp and your forehead. Relax your cheeks, your nose, your lips. Part your teeth slightly, relaxing your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Relax your arms and your hands, your fingers. Relax your chest and your belly. Relax your back and your hips, your buttocks. Relax your legs, your thighs, your calves, your feet and your toes. Allow all energy that doesn't serve you to just flow from the top of your head all the way down and out through the soles of your feet. Beautiful. You are now in a far more relaxed state. And as you've been thinking about the event that you would like to revisit, know that you are perfectly safe in your quantum holographic deck. All right? So now that you have in mind a very clear picture of what you would like to experience, and again, remember, it could be something that actually happened or something that might have happened, something that you didn't choose, but it happened somewhere. It's all a choice. When you have that clear in your mind, you're going to touch the doorknob of the quantum door. And just by touching the doorknob, you program a holographic deck. And I'm going to count to 3. And on the count of 3, that door is going to open. And you are going to see and be able to step in to whatever scene you have programmed. And I will give you plenty of time to go through this in any way you see fit. You can watch it like a movie, but you could also interact with all of the people or the animals or the physical objects that you have created in there. This is your creation. All right. 1, 2, the door is starting to open, and 3, the door is open, and you are free now to go in to the holodeck. And I will see you in about 10 minutes. we have walked through and experienced this beautiful event chosen by us, it is time to return to our meditation room. And as you walk towards the meditation door, you can see it, it's open. When you cross the threshold, if this is an event that you would like to revisit again, just tell the quantum room that. Record this for later viewing. Now everybody gather in your own little meditation room. Just sit here for a moment. The holodeck is now turned off. We have saved the recording, the programming. Know that we can replay that anytime we like. We can also create a new program. You could revisit history, whether it be your history or our past history. Is it the time of Atlantis? You are only held back by your imagination. Each one of you has just created a small slice of reality that you could experience. Our actual reality is very similar to that. And as you take all this in, thank any beings that were here to assist you. I thank each one of you for being willing to go on these journeys with me. Now, it is time to come back to the time and place in the room that you're sitting in. Just notice that you are now coming up into this time and place. And I'm going to count to 5. And on that count of 5, you will be wide awake, feeling wonderful all over. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You're coming up ever so nicely, quite slowly. 4. You're starting to move a little bit. And 5, eyes wide open, feeling wonderful all over. Thank you. There's Mickey and Martin.
That was wonderful.
I'm here. Hi, Audrey.
Wow. That was really, really wonderful.
How you doing, Carol? Are you back? I know you're muted because of Lydia.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Good. I'm so glad. I haven't lost one yet. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And
That was good. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you guys all have your own holodecks now.
Yeah, I like that.
Isn't that cute? Yeah.
Nice touch. Nice touch. I love holodeck. Always wanted my own.
Well, now you have one.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple to create. Just that setting of intention is the same as programming. Like, who would have thought, way back in the day? What are those shows? They've got to be 50 years old now, 40, 45, 50 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original series was from the 60s. Yeah. So these have to be about 50 years old.
There's a whole new series starting in about a week and a half.
Oh, I thought it was starting like in January, but
Maybe it's January. I thought it was.
maybe that's another one too. There's so many of them.
But there's a new one. Yeah, that I think
Yeah.
we're talking about the same one. One
Is
that's.
it the one that William Shatner's gonna be in? They're like,
I think so.
yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
what a
Yeah.
touch!
Hmm.
I'm eating grapes because they're cold and they're keeping me alert.
Well,
yeah.
you didn't nod off. That was good.
No,
And when we're done, you can just go and just have a beautiful restful sleep. You can create something in your holodeck.
right. I'm
Yeah.
going to be out like a light.
Nice. Nice. So
This was great.
any parting words for these times? So much has been going on, everywhere. Um, and it is a time to reflect on how you feel about things, your belief system, and that was one of Seth's biggest things is your belief system was everything. And that you don't have to believe everything you hear.
No,
Yeah.
it's important to pick out what serves you.
Yeah, very discerning. And I'm not saying don't try things, but if they don't work out, you don't have to hold on to them either.
Exactly.
Hmm. And I found the hardest ones really are the things that you came into this world with, the things that your parents first provided you, right? Because they're deeply embedded.
Right.
Yeah,
More than you realize at first, but yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And then some of us have just gone the opposite way and said, well, whatever they said, it has to be wrong. And that's okay too. The children of the 60s, right? They fought against everything.
Yeah. I was a
Yeah.
hippie.
Yeah. I was still a child at that point, but yeah.
I was a
I wanted to be a
Clark
hippie.
hippie. And I've got pictures to prove it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
I was a hippie in training.
Oh.
Believe it or not, I was a hippie too. I actually hung out with a commune and everything. I was
Wow.
a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Little kid.
We're quite the group,
That's just
aren't
how
we?
inclusive everything was. Yeah.
And look at us now.
That's
Now
right.
we're just old hippies.
Yes, we are.
And I love it. I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to be alive during that period.
Yeah.
Because you sure
Oh,
can't
yeah.
recreate that.
I agree with that. I'm very grateful for that as well.
Yeah.
I almost made it to Woodstock, but my sisters wouldn't take me.
Oh.
I was too
I
young.
think they were right.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I didn't even hear about Woodstock until long after it was over.
I didn't go, but my ex-husband did. He was there, front and center, right smack in front of the stage.
Nice.
Wow.
He must
I
have
don't
got
think
there
mine-
early.
I don't think my sisters made it to the stage or saw it, but they were there.
Yeah. You didn't have to be, because gosh, the sound that they created,
Yeah.
it could be heard everywhere. They had great sound systems. Some of those speakers that Larry was standing in front of were 12 foot high. Those were subwoofers. The
Wow.
bass speakers, 12 foot high. Jesus.
Wow.
That is so interesting. I mean, in what year was that? That was 67, 68?
Something like that. I don't even remember.
Interesting. Well,
God,
we've come a long way, people.
oh, we have. We really have. And actually, it's just a new way of being a hippie.
Good way of thinking
Seth
about
was
it.
a hippie. Seth was
Yeah.
a space hippie.
Yeah. So
When I
what?
used to have hair, it was clear down to my hips.
Oh,
Seriously,
Really?
hard to believe, right?
You have photos of that time?
I do. I have some, yes.
Oh, I'd love to see one of those. You don't
wow.
have to do it
I'll have
publicly.
to share them.
Message me one.
Yeah.
Ah, well, this is our last meeting in November. We do have stuff coming up here. We have, let's see, I guess the next time we get together is December 3rd, and
Okay.
that'll be for full moon.
Mhm.
And then that Saturday here we have the mediumship readings that we're going to be doing. Those are at 11 o'clock in the morning, and we still have space if anybody wants to join those. We've got 3 mediums set up, and it'll be a small groupings of people, so you'll get a pretty decent reading.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm still interested. I just have to figure it out.
okay, all right. Yeah, and there's still spaces available, so yeah, pop in.
Excellent.
Anything else? I can't think of anything right now. Just set your intentions for this new cycle, and we will be back on December 3rd. And in the meantime, here in America, we will have gone through Thanksgiving, and Nikki will be a year older.
Yeah. This new moon is tomorrow, not today, but for
It
3
is
days.
tomorrow.
Yeah, for 3 days. It runs for 3 days. So keep that in mind. That, whatever it brings is going to be sticking around for 72 hours.
Right. So it's
Wow.
actually at 1:47 a.m. on the East Coast.
Mhm.
So we're less than 12 hours away.
Yeah. Now, let's see. I'm looking at when mine is. Just a second.
Should be like 6:47 a.m. for you.
Anyway, before we part, I probably should share what I saw in the holodeck.
Oh,
I don't know
well,
what it means, but yeah, it was a good one. I was totally out too. I mean, I was completely unconscious. And as usual, I came automatically out just a little bit before you sent us back. So I do that every time, just about. And I didn't remember right away what it was I was seeing, but as I started coming to more after I came back, I don't know if I took the Star Trek part of it too literally or what, but I was Picard, and I was floating in this black space. I mean, just solid black. I didn't even see any stars. And at one point, I was on the starship, but Picard was the starship. That's hard to explain, but so it was this big Captain Picard floating in the shape of the Star Trek. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but so I guess I was the starship. I was like the ship, but I was also the person, and I was Picard. So I don't know what that means, but
he's my favorite character. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a really good one. Maybe it was the
You're the captain of your own ship.
Exactly.
I love that.
And I really enjoyed the fact that it was using that holodeck theme. I mean, there was so much you could do within that, to work within that framework. I loved it. It really helped. I enjoyed it. Because at first, when you said it, Kate, I went flying off to open the hand. When you put your hand on the handle of the door, I went to the quantum door. And then had to turn around and go back.
That's all right. Beautiful. Well, I'm glad that you are the captain of your ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we all are. I mean, that's a wonderful thought process. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll revisit that because it was very enabling. I flitted from
And-
one scenario to another very easily with the
Right, and
holodeck.
think about you could experience your birth from a different perspective, you know. You could
Yeah.
you could project to be the nurse or something, you know. I mean,
Right.
your imagination can think of anything. Or I don't know, go go visit like, oh my god, Atlantis flew into my head there at the very end, but you could be there when they were building the pyramids.
Right. Oh, I'm reading so much about that. Whoa. They're
Come back and tell us
discovering.
how they really did do it.
Well, they're discovering so many different levels of what's under the pyramids, and they go deeper
Yeah.
and deeper, and they're shocked at what they're finding, and it's nothing like we thought. First of all, it wasn't even a tomb.
Right.
I know.
That's all we knew to call it back then.
It goes down tens of miles, they're saying. Miles, tens
Wow.
of miles beneath all of
Yeah.
the pyramids, these tunnels, these shafts,
God, that's
spiral
amazing.
things.
And all those places in Turkey where they found whole cities underground
Right.
Yeah.
that housed up to 20,000 people or more,
Wow.
living like the ants do. I said we were doing exactly what the ants do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Oh
seen
my
the
God.
videos.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They even had shafts cut where the light could come in.
Yeah.
You know, they had plenty of air, fresh air, light, all kinds of stuff, everything you need, but it was way underground.
Yeah.
Right.
Kilometers underground. Gosh, it would have driven me crazy because I'm claustrophobic.
From what I gather, they're not small spaces.
No, they're
Mm-mm.
not. I've seen the
Right.
videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Well, I hope
We
everybody
just
has happy holidays here in the beginning. And
Turkey Day.
next time we get together, hopefully I'll be decorated for Christmas.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet because I
Me
totally
either.
redone the house, so I don't know yet. But
Well, it's very ambitious for me to even think of it because this will be the first time I've done Christmas in 5 years. So,
yeah,
Mm.
or six. Yeah. So, but I am going to try and get in the spirit of it. We'll see.
little by little.
Yeah, little by
No,
little.